Team Powerhouse PowerCast every Tuesday, as you know, live every Tuesday at 5 o'clock p.m. on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and then some. We have a lot of, by the way, do you know how many people we have following us on Twitch? It's a gaming website, and we've got hundreds of people following us on these gaming websites every week, which is pretty cool stuff. If you have any questions while you're out there watching and you're on our social media, please do not hesitate to ask. Jonathan's in the background watching it on Instagram, Facebook, etc. Looking for your questions for Nick over here. Nick the Storm Grossman, the one and only, well-known all over Connecticut and all over the United States for what he does. So, Nick, let's get into it with some questions for you that we prepared for us in advance.
Absolutely.
So, first of all, where are you from?
Well, I'm from Norwalk, Connecticut. I grew up behind a convalescent home.
Okay.
Which is very important with my story. And I noticed like some weird stuff growing up, especially what used to happen at nighttime. Objects would go flying across the room. The radio would turn on and off by itself. The thermostat would actually turn by itself to 80 degrees.
Wow. You could see this happening?
Yeah, and I didn't know what was going on. And honestly, it was very traumatizing.
That's crazy.
And I always say this sounds silly, but I slept with the covers over my head probably from the age of 13 to the age of 22. When I was 22, that's when I really realized what actually was happening.
No kidding.
And what it was is, I've been told this many times that, I'm a walking portal.
Wow.
And I could see spirits. I could actually walk into a house and sense if somebody actually passed away in certain rooms.
No kidding.
And I could walk into a house and sense somebody's practicing some sort of magic.
So he would be a valid asset to your real estate team. Then.
I was just thinking to myself, imagine bringing Nick along with us on a showing before a client decides to make an offer.
No, at the home inspection.
At the home inspection.
Yeah. At the home inspection. Let's get it under contract first and then have Nick say.
Get Marco Miranda to hire Nick.
Yeah. That would be awesome.
Marco Miranda and Melanie Miranda.
The Miranda team, absolutely. So, Miranda team's a great home inspection company, by the way. We recommend all the time to people. But anyway, all right. So, family, brothers, sisters.
Yeah, I got one brother and one sister.
Very cool.
I got a son who's 14 years old.
Hey, what's his name?
And his name's Dylan, and he's
what's up,
he's
Dylan?
a very empathic a child or teenager, and he also sees spirits too.
No kidding.
But I just let him naturally. I don't tell him. I let him naturally form for himself.
No kidding.
Yeah.
That's pretty wild. So it's kind of in the genes.
And my nephews always love the paranormal, and they want to join my ghost group growing up. It's so funny.
We're going to get more into his ghost group, by the way, through this show.
Yeah.
So you grew up in Norwalk. You've got a brother and a sister. Are they older? Are they younger?
I'm the oldest.
You're the oldest.
Yep.
All right. And parents are still around?
Parents are still around, yep.
Beautiful.
Brother and sister share the gift or no?
No, they don't. Nope.
That's very interesting. Did you ever mess with them when you were little growing up at all, or kind of say something to them to kind of?
Oh yeah, they know all the stuff that. It used to just happen to me. That's the thing.
That's crazy.
It just happens to me. I'm haunted.
Well, you're not haunted. You just have special powers.
Right.
I call it. I met you through a very special person. Her name is. Well, can I say her name?
Sure.
Okay. So, a girl that works with me. Her name is
Carla
Capiello.
Yep.
She's a very,
cool.
very wonderful person, and she's been very involved in the whole spiritualness and the ghosts, and she's very involved and loves what you do.
Yeah, and she's a dear friend, and also her friend Josie is cool too. And they both came to. We started well. There's a restaurant that's very haunted called the Twisted Vine Restaurant in Derby.
Okay.
And we did an expedition there overnight, and it just went viral all of a sudden on the news. So we started doing ghost tours over there, and that's how we met Carla. And the ghost tours were so phenomenal that New Haven Register wanted to do an article on it. And they asked me if there's anybody I should interview too, and I suggested Carla because she actually got pictures of a face floating around and everything. A lot of people don't realize this, but my group, Ghost Storm Investigations, actually started the ghost tour ghost tours there, and we actually don't get any credit for it at all.
No kidding.
Yeah, I don't understand why.
Well, we're going to work on that.
Yeah,
we're going to work on that today.
We actually attracted the travel network to come there.
No
and
kidding.
Ever since then, it was like goodbye ghost storm, and we're the ones that actually got them there.
Well, you know what? It all
But
starts.
Carla definitely, she's a good friend, a good supporter. She also came to the Curtis House recently in Trumbull, and that place is just alive.
Some of the
I
questions
mean,
we
it's
have.
dead alive.
Eric and I have some questions over here. I don't want to
Sure.
get off track because there's so much to cover in such a small period of time. We're going to have to get you back on the show.
Absolutely.
But I have a bunch of questions here. And again, guys, if you have questions, please do not hesitate to reach out. So what was it like growing up with your gift? We kind of started talking about this a little bit.
Well, you know, it was very traumatizing because I remember there's many times where I had to actually get the mirrors out of my room. And to this day, I still have problems sleeping with a mirror in the room. Even though I do stuff with the mirror, it's definitely not a pleasant feeling when you see laying in bed and seeing all sorts of entities coming out of the mirror.
That's pretty
And
wild.
one time I seen hundreds, if not thousands, of demons coming out of the mirror.
Wow.
I'd like to consider them demons. And it was just you know, the covers would get pulled off of me and nothing was there. I would always wake up, I would sit up, I'd wake up and there'd be this orb of energy in front of me, or anomaly. And it would turn into this little girl when I was a kid. It was very bizarre. Oftentimes, angels are real. I'm going to tell you that right now. I have a lot of experiences with angels, and they're 100% real.
Now, question with you.
Yeah.
What is an angel?
They're a divine being.
Because a lot of folks are under the impression that angels are like somebody that's passed on.
No.
And that's not.
No.
That's not.
Well,
believed
I
to
don't
be
know.
what it is.
There are certain things I don't know. Maybe that's so. Maybe that's how it goes.
Right.
But the archangels, though, are in many religious beliefs and spiritual beliefs, especially like New Age and all that stuff, and the whole thing with the white light. As a matter of fact, when I was seeing like these demons, I would pray for the angels to come, and I would see this blinding flash of white light, and all the spirits would be gone.
No kidding.
And I actually developed relationships, friendships with these angels. And actually, as an artist, I actually have a painting of Archangel Michael because, you know, I'm very close with that angel.
No kidding. All right.
They're real.
Jonathan has something to.
We got a question from Mike Cristoforo.
Yes,
Hey, Mike.
Michael.
Are the ghost adventures legit, and do you know Zach?
You know what? I will say this. They're the only ghost team really on TV that actually gets stuff. And, you know, quite frankly, I'm a fan and I'm influenced by them. I don't personally know Zach, but my team Ghost Storm is actually very influenced by that group. And if you think about it, like they're one of the only groups on TV that actually gets evidence of it. And, you know, they're trying to prove the paranormal just like we are. But I am definitely a fan of them.
I don't know if you have to prove the paranormal to people who don't believe as much as let them feel and see the paranormal. And that's kind of where you cross the board. You know, if somebody doesn't believe something, it's because they haven't experienced it, I'll say, for the most part, a lot of times. And it's hard to believe something you can't see or touch or experience.
Right. Well, that's when, you know, Charles is my partner, and we put on paranormal classes with hands-on training into the field itself. And we have a dinner, we put on a seminar, and then we go off to the haunted locations with people. And we actually change lots of skeptics into believers.
What you're saying to me is if somebody like Eric and I wanted to go to experience this kind of thing, we could do that with you.
Most likely you guys will have an experience. It's not promised, but we haven't failed yet. We've been all over.
No kidding.
Yeah.
What's
the Curtis
something-
House is the hot spot
What
right now that
what
we're
does that
doing.
go for per person? If I may ask, I'm putting you on the spot. I didn't mean to.
Sure. No, it's okay.
Not part of my questions
No,
here.
it's okay. It's all about the moment.
Yeah?
It's all about the moment. Positivity is all about the moment. It goes 99.99.
Yeah.
It includes dinner, paranormal lecture, and hands-on training with going to the field itself. As a matter of fact, it's actually a 3-hour event.
No
So
kidding.
you really get into it, yeah. And I let people use my equipment too.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
So people learn a lot, and you know what? It's always the best when there's always somebody who's giving me a hard time because they don't believe in their wife forced them to come or something.
Sure.
And it's the best time because I'm thinking, this guy's giving me such a hard time, and I'm
Right.
kind of laughing. I'm like, just wait 30 minutes. This guy's something's gonna happen.
Crap his pants.
Oh, yeah. And we had one guy actually come to the ghost lab that Charles and myself did in Fright Haven, where we actually open up a portal through the mirror and spirits start coming out. And this guy, and he's now a fan and a good friend, and he comes to a lot of events now.
We should do a team Powerhouse event.
Yeah.
I think that could be something on the team who might
Absolutely.
be interested in
Well,
doing
then
that.
you're
I could take you, we should take you guys on an investigation. You guys do this the whole way.
If you're gonna,
I have
wow, a
access.
live- a
I
live
have
podcast?
access to so many places for that. It's
A
not
live
even funny.
you may have to
podcast,
find
you-
someone else to film that.
Yeah.
Jonathan wants no part of it. That's okay. We can go. We can wear GoPros or something like
Yeah,
that.
that's not a
Yeah.
bad idea. We could definitely. That would be pretty cool. All right. So, what is the most haunted house you've ever been to?
I'm gonna say that the one we're doing right now in Trumbull, the Zachariah Curtis house, is owned by Bill Batchelor from Trumbull, and all sorts. It was so. We actually did the Conjuring house recently, and I'm gonna say this: Bill's house. More stuff happens in Bill's house than the Conjuring house even. We did the Hinsdale house recently, which is very, very alive with
You have to be
paranormal.
more specific, like where these places are, what's involved, because we don't know a lot about
The
stuff.
Curtis house is on Nichols Avenue in Trumbull.
Okay.
The Hinsdale house is in Hinsdale, New York. It's quite a drive, actually. It's about 6 hours.
Norwalk's closer. I like
Yep.
Norwalk better.
The Conjuring house is in Rhode Island. That's the movies with The Conjuring about Lorraine and Ed Warren.
Oh, the Lord.
Dave probably
It's
hasn't
pretty
seen
cool.
that movie because Dave doesn't much like those movies.
I tend to cry or run or have nightmares from things that I see that,
Yep.
kind of.
Dave's more Disney speed than The Conjuring.
They say that's haunted, Disney. They say.
I wouldn't be surprised if Disney's haunted. That I could definitely see happening. All right.
I love Disney, by the way.
What is the Fairfield Hills Asylum?
Okay, Fairfield Hills Asylum is in Newtown, and it's an old abandoned asylum. It's one of the first asylums where they actually used to, do lobotomies and electric shock treatment. And, it is filled with all sorts of spirits in there. It's not even funny. And, a lot of people actually of the occult on the dark side do actually dark rituals inside there. And we actually, the last time I was there, I was walking up the stairs. I was with my camera guy, Hector, who is fearless, this kid, fearless. I was with him, and we see these two pigeons with their heads chopped off. So I thought maybe this is a cat doing this that got the pigeons. So we walked into what is called a hydrotherapy room, and there's actually
you
this.
saw real pigeons with their head cut off.
Yeah, it
Okay.
gets even better.
That's when I'm like,
Yeah.
uh-oh.
And Ozzy was nowhere around?
No,
Okay.
but we walked into this hydrotherapy room, and it's kind of messed up because they used to experiment with this special bathtub, and they would put like freeze boiling hot water and make them sit in it, and then they would put freezing water and to cure them. And on the wall was this graffiti, and you could tell the blood from the pigeons was splattered on the wall. And this is just part of.
If any of you out there aren't kind of getting like, holy shit, what are we talking about here?
Yep.
This is getting really deep really quickly. And Halloween, by the way, this whole Halloween month of October is part of the reason I wanted to bring you
Yes.
on, because it's kind of like that whole eeriness. It's that whole like,
I love it.
And it only gets creepier from
Yeah.
here.
yeah, exactly.
Halloween is a very busy time for us paranormal folks and paranormal explorers doing paranormal entertainment and everything else. We charge for our ghost events, but a paranormal investigation or an exorcism or a spiritual cleansing, we don't charge a dime. We don't charge for helping people, period.
Well, that's
We
good.
do it all free.
That's good to know.
Yeah.
In case one of our team members gets out of hand.
Oh, yeah.
Jonathan? Yeah.
So, but now, don't you find that, so like from seeing some of the ghost hunting shows or whatever, that asylums or mental hospitals
Yeah.
tend to be those places
Well,
that are
Yeah.
have a lot of activity?
If you think about it, a lot of traumatizing things happened inside there.
Yep.
And, a lot of the patients actually got abused. Connecticut is known to have some of the most abandoned mental hospitals in the whole United States.
Is that right?
Yeah.
No
We have
kidding.
Fairfield Hills, we have Newington, Mansfield Training School, which that was actually the first paranormal place I actually explored in 2004.
No kidding.
Yep, that was the first right there, and I was just like, it's the thrill, it's the adventure, and it's actually seeing the spirits and, improving it to myself.
Jonathan, I know that we have some footage and some videos. Is there anything you want us to pull up on the screen first that you want to kind of talk about?
Sure, yeah.
So, what is the first thing you have for us to pull up for Jonathan? You want to tell
Is
him
this
what
being played now, or is it
this is
going to
being
be
played
going on
live,
Saturday?
live for these guys?
Yeah, I'm going to play them in order.
Sure.
And then Instagram, you might want to tune in somewhere else so you could see what I'm playing.
So, where would they turn into? YouTube? Go to
YouTube, Facebook,
channel.
YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, anywhere.
All right, guys, just in case if you're watching on Instagram Live, and you can flip over to either Facebook channel, which is on the Team Powerhouse website, Team Powerhouse Real Estate, or YouTube, which is the best place to go to, Team Powerhouse Real Estate, you're going to see some things that you haven't seen before, I promise you. And this is real stuff that's actually happened. So what's the first one?
First, we have the top hat apparition. So tell us a little bit about the top hat.
Well, that was actually, I can't really give away the location of this place because it's very private, and the owner, didn't want to be revealed. As a matter of fact, we were filming a documentary there, and we have to blank everything out and blank the colors out.
What are we seeing right here?
Okay, so the top hat man, this is a very, very common paranormal entity
Good
that
job,
people
Jonathan,
get.
for Instagram people. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yep, a very common paranormal entity that people get. Most people consider it demonic, and this photo is actually taken from a gentleman on my team named Jeff Gary from CT Pasts, and we do have a pretty unique
You
and
said
awesome
CT
team.
Pest?
Yep, Connecticut Paranormal and Supernatural Tracking Society.
Oh,
We're both basically
Oh, Past.
Not pests.
we
We
made-
thought it was like a pest control company
that's what I
that
thought.
also
Okay.
takes up.
we merged. Ghost
Okay.
Storm and CT Pasts merged.
Past. P-A-S-T.
They're going to also be guests at the
All right,
convention.
what's the next one we're going to see over here?
This image from the museum.
That right there. Okay, so I had a museum for a while in the Conti building in Shelton, and which is a haunted building there. And this actually came from a case in Stratford with an incubus that was tormenting the woman, and we actually found this artifact to have so many attachments on it. She was like, take it out of here, get rid of it. So as you can see, it's warded with two crucifix, and
So that she couldn't see this stuff, or are you saying that was put in afterwards?
she just wanted it out.
But
We were there for about 6 months trying to help this lady. Actually, the stuff that went on there was just wild.
Okay. Jonathan's working on something else over there
So
in the background.
over the weekend, I think it was last weekend. I was flipping through and I saw that there was there happens to be a bunch of like dolls that have like this.
Yeah.
This like just.
Oh yeah.
like,
I have a collection
thing
of
going
those.
on with them that they're like everywhere they go,
Yeah.
they bring hellfire.
Yeah.
I mean, like
Really?
total hellfire. Yes.
Don't bring those dolls to me.
Yeah, I was gonna bring it on the show, but I figured maybe this
Dave loves
atmosphere
dolls.
is not the
Well,
best.
no, listen. If there was something we could bring on the show next time for people to actually see, I would be game for that. I think
If
that
you
the
want,
views-
I'll set up the whole museum right here.
that would be
Seriously, I
pretty-
would set up everything
Or
here.
we could go to the museum.
I mean, the glass, the glass case wouldn't be there.
Right.
But right now, because of COVID, coronavirus is definitely settling down, but I want to wait until everybody really gets back out there.
I think
to
people
open
are
up
out.
there.
People
Where's-
are
Yeah.
people are out. People are
Where's
ready.
your museum?
This was originally in the Conti building in Shelton, and we actually moved the museum to across the street from the Ansonia Armory in this
Nice.
abandoned church.
Did I have a chance to ask you?
And then
already?
because of coronavirus, of course, unfortunately, we had to shut it down for a
Okay.
while. But we're currently looking for a new place for it.
The most scariest paranormal event that happened to you? Did I ask that question yet?
Experience? No, you didn't ask me.
Okay,
yet.
good.
Well, you know what?
Should we get through the rest of the pictures? Actually,
I'm sorry. Yeah. Go ahead.
let's get through the rest of
Yeah,
the
I'm
pictures.
sorry. Yes, yes. More pictures.
There's
Unless-
a lot to talk about, I'll tell
yes,
you.
there is.
The 30 questions is just
I
nothing. just
want
the
to
tip
make
of the
sure we
iceberg.
have a lot to talk about
No.
over here for people to know what's going on.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Let's just finish up the pictures.
Yes.
So what's this picture in the forest with the?
Well, that
I see
was-
the streak.
Have you guys ever heard of Dudleytown before? It's an
Dudley,
abandoned...
Mass? Or is that Dudley?
No, Cornwall, Connecticut.
Cornwall, Connecticut.
And there's an actual abandoned town up there in the mountain there. And it's pretty much off limits, but if you go there and follow the guidelines, it's not considered trespassing, and you have to stay on the Mohawk Trail. You can't step off the trail because that's private property, but right there, I was with, actually, who I was with? The guy I was talking to, the sarcastic friend that I had that I proved
Yes.
a non-skeptic, his girlfriend took that photo, and I was pointing, I said, I see energy right there, as you could see, and she took the photo, and there's a streak of energy. I could see this stuff. I could see auras, too. As a matter of fact, trees have these beautiful auras. A lot of times you could see these evergreen trees.
What are auras?
Our energy field that we have around us.
Interesting.
Yep.
Jonathan, next photo.
So we have the white dove spirit.
Yep, that was actually at a location, the same one as the Top Hat guy. And it was with this lady who's actually possessed. And we were actually doing these interviews with the entity, which was really phenomenal. And we didn't even see this thing fly across the living room until we looked at the photos. We actually have a video of that zooming literally across the living room there. And you could zoom in, and obviously it's a white dove, and that's a very rare piece of evidence right there.
Next photo.
This is the thing about my group, is we're all psychic. So when we go into haunted places, this stuff really, it comes out, really comes out.
So we have. So speaking of psychics, we have the psychic vampire image.
That was actually taken at Riverside Cemetery in Norwalk, and psychic vampires are, I have a theory. As you can see, if you guys look into that photo, you'll see an eye, a nose, and it's opening its mouth with these two fangs, and the tongue sticking out. And, I have an actual theory about there is psychic vampires, and actually people could also be that way too. But my theory is, back in the folklore of the vampire, these psychic vampires drain your life energy out of you. So my theory is, blood was poetic for the energy that they drain. It was actually a poetic thing, and there was never a blood-drinking vampire, but that's how they described a psychic vampire, draining you of your aura.
Interesting. Jonathan, more photos. I want to get these questions over here.
So we're at the cemetery. Sorry, I keep forgetting to turn my mic on. We're at the cemetery. The child ghost.
So this was actually Stephanie Cemetery in Monroe, burial of Ed and Lorraine Warren. And
Oh, no kidding. My cousins are from Monroe. I wonder if they've been there before.
Yep, and home of the White Lady of Easton. She also goes to this cemetery in Monroe.
Where in Monroe is this located?
That is...
Anywhere near Heather Road? Wolf Park?
It's right off the route. I'm not sure the street it's on, but I know the owner, and she's very kind, and she gives us permission to go there at nighttime.
No kidding.
Which is nice, and we actually, have fun getting spirits there. As you can see in the background, I was actually with my fiance, and she said that there's a child running around, and she's clairvoyant. So what I did was I took a picture, and out came, as you can see, there's a little child. But as you can see, he's wearing a long, drapey clothes, and that's what they used to dress the kids
Can
with
you make
back
that
in the
picture
day.
a little bigger there, Jonathan?
It's pretty big for the people watching. It's full
Yeah.
screen, but yeah,
Right
it's
there.
right there.
So as they used to dress kids these long outfits back in the day.
Huh.
And that place is so alive. As a matter of fact, I went there with my psychic, Diane, Birdie, and my camera guy, Hector. And nothing was really happening for a couple hours. And, Diane had a psychic message that we were going to see the White Lady. Nothing happened. So we packed up our bags, we packed up our stuff and left. And as we go on the highway, this white blanket flies over my car, and I actually swerved the car. and everybody saw it. She saw the actual face of her, and as I'm driving them home, I have the window open. I'm driving like this. We all hear this, and I feel this. Now, actually, this is a very distinct feeling of a human hand slapping me. We all heard it. So we got our white lady right there. She's definitely real.
No
and you know what?
kidding.
Wish I had a camera.
We should bring your psychic on the show.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, she would definitely do it. Yep.
That's pretty cool.
Yep.
Well, it's a few more weeks before
Next,
Halloween.
we have a tunnel in
Right,
absolutely.
Next, we have a tunnel in Fairfield.
That's Fairfield Hills. Is that actually tunnel system?
Now, let me ask you a question. We were looking at this photo where the object is the white area of the screen. Am I correct? On the
Yeah.
bottom right-hand side?
Well, it's actually kind of a cube going down a hallway.
Can you make that bigger, Jonathan, for
It's
us
as
on the
big as-
inside?
And there's no paranormal in that picture, but so many people are
I
fascinated
see-
by.
I saw the face in the area with John right there. That's where I see.
That's just, I don't know if that's just the tile, but
On the floor. It's like
Yeah.
a visual on the floor.
that's probably like the concrete, I think. But I just took that picture because people are so curious about the tunnels in Fairfield Hills, and that's what they look like staring down the hall.
Interesting.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, they have those tunnels because if a patient died, they'd want to hide it from the other patients, and they wheel them down there. That's why they have the tunnels. They're highly haunted.
Is that the last photo, Jonathan?
One more.
One more
the
photo.
apparition, then we have a video, but we could ask the paranormal question first.
Sure.
All right.
All right. Here we have another picture. This is the apparition. Forget where. I think this is one of the places you said you couldn't disclose.
Yep, this was a tunnel system in the valley. Can't really give away this location, but a lot of people died there way back when. And this was actually taken from Diane Birdie too, the psychic. She actually took this, and when she loaded it up, you could see right next to the gentleman on the left standing right behind him
Is
on
that
the
person
wall.
wearing a mask?
Yeah, because that was like coronavirus era.
Are you inside somewhere?
Yeah, we're inside. Well, that was when it was mandatory to do public things and wear masks.
Huh.
That was like the beginning
Gotcha.
of the corona chaos. And you could see right behind him, that white with the dress.
Yeah.
That's an apparition of that place. I miss that place so much. It was so cool exploring it.
And what is that in Connecticut?
It's in the Valley, the Valley, Connecticut.
Derby, Naugatuck.
Oh yeah, very haunted. And Connecticut itself is probably one of the most haunted states we could be in. I mean, there's a lot of bloodshed here.
I was in well, it's ironic because we were actually at a property. It's so funny you say that. We were in Seymour looking at a home built in the 1700s. And this is for real, Eric. I mean, I was with clients, and to get into this house, first of all, you had to go through the back door. They gave you this push-button combination, and we had the combination. No matter what we did, that it would not allow us to open the door. Even though it was some weird stuff going on there. And my clients were like, this place is haunted. I'm out of here. And it was a weird. Eric, I should tell you where this house was, but I was with the clients. I forgot to mention about this.
Is that the one where you heard the footsteps upstairs?
No, that was a different experience.
That was a different experience?
I was with a few years ago, maybe 10. I'm with clients in a house where it's a ranch house. We're in the base. The power was not working. It might have been even a foreclosure property. And you walk through the house. We have our flashlights with our phones. Walking through, walk into the basement, get down there, and while we're in the basement, down there looking around, you hear footsteps of several people coming through the front door in the house. So I immediately ran upstairs to make sure people knew we were down there, not to scare anybody. And as I walk upstairs, there's nobody there. Nobody in the house. I look outside, there's no car there, there's no scene of any kind of people whatsoever. I go to walk back downstairs to tell the guys, I'm like, listen guys, no one is upstairs, and all of a sudden we feel this something wish past us.
Yeah.
And everybody felt it. We all looked at each other and go, all right, time to leave.
Mm-hmm.
That's it, we're out of here. And we boogied on down and left the house, and that was a weird experience, I'll say.
Lots of that in Connecticut. Lots of it.
All right.
We have
what
a
about-
question.
What's that?
We have some questions that happened during the photos.
Let's talk about some
Sure.
questions over there.
What do you do to protect yourself when you're around the spirits? From Mike Cristoforo.
Well, I have these amulets here. And this is actually a Celtic symbol of magic.
So that's not a
And this
devil
is a
worship-
dragon. This
Hold
is
on,
a
I got a
dragon.
question. That 6-pointed,
Not a
5-point.
pentagram.
It's not a.
If it's
not a
upside down,
oh.
that's the Satanist.
Oh.
community. But if this is different, this is actually, there's a whole bunch of different pentacles actually, you know?
So this is
And this is the chaos star here because I do chaos
Can I
magic.
see what that looks like?
Yeah,
I've never. Can people see that in the show? What that looks like? That's called the chaos.
Nice and close to the camera.
that's a chaos star. And I'll explain to you because this,
Show the camera over there also.
sure.
Yeah,
This
several cameras in
actually,
front of you.
Changed my life right here. And there's these things called sigils and, you know, the law of attraction and positivity. And what it is the sigil is you write a sentence of what you desire, like I want money in the next couple of weeks, and you cross out the vowels, and then you cross out the duplicate letters in the sentence, and you take the remaining words and you make a symbol out of it. And what that does is takes your positive visualization and it literally makes it a part of our world because you made an art symbol, a symbol, and put it on a piece of paper. And what you do is you meditate and look at it, and you charge the sigil with your positive thoughts, and instantly, a lot of times, you get results.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Any more questions out there, Robert? Okay.
That's just one of the little things of the chaos magic. There's much more, but you know.
Eric's got a question for you.
I have a couple questions. So, any stuff outside of, I know you mentioned Connecticut and like New York, but anything farther away?
Oh yeah, I mean we're doing a documentary called Expedition Hell, and it's all the states in New England. We finished up Connecticut. We're actually doing Massachusetts and Rhode Island now.
Do you want to show us the trailer?
Well,
Eric hold on. Eric's got a
there,
question.
yeah,
Before the trailer for the movie.
yeah, no, the only reason I ask is we've done our tours of like places. We've been to Salem, you know. It was about, I think Dylan was about 8 or 9, my son, when we went to an orphanage in Gettysburg.
I've been there.
Yeah, so we went to the, the Gettysburg.
It was a
the
dungeon orphanage.
Right, where they
Yeah.
have the little carve out in the basement there, and she used to, stories says that they used to put, so I went in there, I took a picture, orbs all over the place in the picture.
Yep.
But, so we did the orphanage thing, and there's a part of it where there's a store, there's a, like a
Gift shop.
yeah, like a gift shop,
Yeah.
exactly. And there's a part where, the room is dark for like 30 seconds or something like that. And then so they opened the door and we walked outside, and my son Dylan had three fingerprints, small child fingerprints on his hand,
Yeah.
like
On
he
his
had been
face?
slapped, right? But he didn't say or feel anything. And one of the people that were there were like, "Oh my God, your son's been touched," And he had the three finger, the finger marks on his face. And within 30 seconds, they were gone.
Yeah.
Within 30 seconds, they were gone.
Are you kidding
Yeah.
me?
No, I'm serious.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you couldn't share this with me before today? I mean, this is amazing stuff.
Kind of
Kinda-
takes the thrill
I
away
know.
if I tell you beforehand.
That's pretty wild, man.
Yeah.
So Dylan would definitely be somebody who would remember this at all? Does he?
I don't know if he remembers it or not. I know I've reminded him about it, but he was 8.
8 years old, of course. That's wow. That's pretty
That's,
amazing.
that happens a lot of times when you do paranormal investigation, especially scratches. As a matter of fact, I have a video of Diane actually being scratched, and it just appears on her arm. It's very freaky.
Wow.
Yep.
Let's go back to the question, what's the scariest experience you've ever had?
Fairfield Hills. I went in by myself one time, and I couldn't get anybody to come with me because everybody was busy on a Sunday. So I went in the tunnel system, and I start seeing these patients wearing these gowns walking around.
Oh my God.
And I'm thinking, this may be a little too much to do alone. So I went halfway through the tunnel, and I walked back out, and as I walked up the stairs, all the windows and the doors were slamming. And they have these big, giant refrigerator doors, and they were slamming so hard, and the windows were banging. I literally just ran up the stairs, and the window was open, I literally jumped through the window. I was very scared. Now, if I had a partner, I wouldn't run. I'd hit the record button.
Of course.
And stand post. But by yourself is a little different.
Jonathan. All right. So I know there's a couple of people on our team that are very much interested in this kind of stuff. Jamie Franco she just hoping to get here before you leave. By the way, today she's racing around with her kids to come see you. Charles Gaetano on our team is very interested in that kind of stuff here. But more importantly,
Powerhouse Paranormal.
Team Powerhouse Paranormal. I love it.
Yeah, right.
Team Powerhouse Experiences in Paranormal. If you want to go buy a house and you want to have a paranormal experience, we'll be happy to take you on a ride. Absolutely. And we'll bring a special friend.
Yep.
So I have another question. So we've been talking about locations, right? So you go to a location and there are spirits, ghosts, whatever you want to name them. Do we have spirits that kind of stay with us too, that
Absolutely.
we see on a regular basis,
Yeah.
or is it more of a, you know, you don't experience anything, you don't have any experiences, but then you go someplace and then you see, wow, there's a lot of activity here or something like that?
Oh yeah, you know, our ancestors, our dead loved ones, you know, the afterlife is just a thin wall between right here, and they come visit us all the time, and you know, it's just a matter of being receptive towards them and aware, and the more aware you are, the more that it's easier for them to open that door and give you signs and everything else. As a matter of fact, my grandmother, I was extremely close to, passed away about a decade ago, and you know, me and her still have a relationship. She comes and sees me all the time.
That's amazing.
And you know what's nice? You know, being a clairvoyant, I was telling my aunt this, you know, it's like, it's, a lot of people mourn when somebody dies, but because I know knowledge of what really is there and I have contact with these things, it's like a piece of cake sometimes, because I could still contact them. And a lot of people don't realize
it's
that,
not
again, the wall is right here, and it's just a thin window. That's all it is, but it's a matter of becoming aware.
Wow. That's pretty.
So now,
pretty deep
what is
stuff.
what is Jonathan going to play?
John's got a movie.
We have we have a video of a doll. I think we should show before
That's
the movie.
the Catherine doll.
So why don't you talk us a little bit about Catherine, and then we'll wrap up with the.
Absolutely. So I collect paranormal artifacts, as you guys know. And the Catherine doll was one of the first artifacts I ever got from a case, and I believe it was New Haven. And, you know, it was in a basement, and there was all sorts of candles around it. Obviously, they were practicing the occult, putting spirits inside the dolls. Now, the doll is just a vessel. It's not a possessed doll, but the spirits are attached to the doll, and they can make it move around. And this was actually, you know, one of the first times, you know, one of the artifacts actually moved around, and I actually caught it on video. And the interesting thing about it is, right before it moved, you could see this anomaly shoot out of her, and then she just goes flat and lays down.
All right, let's take.
That's what's so interesting about it.
Let's take a look at Catherine.
Anything for us right now? Could you do anything for us right now, Catherine? A lot of these spirits flying by, they all live in the dolls. And, oh, there goes Catherine's spirit. Hello, Catherine. Oh my God. Catherine, that was amazing. Catherine, that was amazing. Wow. You're really good at this. Could you do anything else for the camera? Unreal, Catherine.
Are we back in live?
We are back live.
Back in live. Now on Instagram, they can see all of us over here on Instagram. Okay, good. Just because I can't tell based on what you can see over there, Jonathan. That's pretty amazing stuff with this whole doll thing. Yeah. And then with that, you have a movie coming out?
Well, actually, we have another sub-documentary called The Diabolical Curtis House, and you know, we're actually been filming and doing a lot of research in the house in Trumbull, and we have a little clip from that as well.
Do you have that, Jonathan?
You could see a shadow person. It's just so wild.
Yeah. All right. Let's put that up there.
Let's get Instagram back on. Now, Instagram, they can't hear this or
They can't hear it, but I'll upload the new version after this episode.
You definitely have a couple of entities in there with you, but they're not showing up on the camera. Yeah. I can already tell you have a couple in there with you.
Well, I'm gonna give you scissors. We want to see you in full form. I know there's a lady here, an elder woman.
No, the door was banging. This door right here, between the two houses right here.
Yeah.
Boom, 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 one day.
Yeah.
Non-stop. And I was like, oh, it's just the air.
Right.
But then I thought about it later. I'm like, no way.
Right.
No way. And the door was going like this quick. Not slamming, but like this. This is like slowly building up. And then my guys, once, used to work for the DOT right in the back there. He's like, Bill, this house is haunted. It's haunted. I'm like, what are you talking about? He goes, threw a piece of wood and it slammed on the floor. This place was spotless.
So Nick, you have some events coming up?
Sure. We're taking everybody on a haunted trolley ride at the East Haven Trolley Museum the weekend of the 21st and the weekend of the 28th.
So they run from the 21st to the 23rd?
Yep.
And then the 28th to the 30th?
You got it.
Okay.
And we can't give away what's going to go down there, but it's definitely some cutting-edge paranormal stuff. People are definitely going to be shocked, and it's going to be very cool.
How do people get in touch with you?
They could contact my email, which is Nick Robert Grossmann, Grossmann, 99@gmail.com.
Do you have that already? So let's make sure we repeat that a lot slower, because a lot of people are watching and listening right now. It's going to be, I'm going to write that down. So spell it, Nick, N-I-C-K.
Yep, Robert,
Robert, R-O-B-E-R-T, Grossmann,
Yep,
Grossmann. Two N's in Grossmann.
Yep, 99@gmail.com.
99@gmail.com. All right.
Kind of a long email.
It is pretty long. Nick Robert Grossmann with two N's, 99@gmail.com.
Got it.
That's the best way for people to get in touch with you.
We can also, my phone number too as well.
I think the phone number is going to be your number one source for people to get in touch with you. What's that phone number?
Phone number 475
475
283
283
8514.
8514. I'm going to repeat that back to you guys who are listening. Again, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, Twitch. Everybody who's listening and watching, making sure this information correctly. To get in touch with Nicholas Robert Grossmann, a.k.a. The Storm, 475 283 8514.
And we have just the trolley event is going to be very interesting. And, Charles and I always have been pioneers with mixing paranormal and entertainment. And it's just a lot of fun. We're very creative and very unique. And, the trolley is just going to be mind-blowing.
And now the other event you mentioned, Salem Paranormal and Horror Convention.
Right, we're hitting the road to Salem, Massachusetts.
Wow.
Doing a paranormal and a horror convention. Rumor has it we may have actor from The Walking Dead. Can't give it away. We have Sean Austin and a bunch of other paranormal experts such as Jimmy Pettinito and Sam Hilarious.
We know Jimmy. He came on a show virtually.
He's a good friend.
He actually,
Good friend.
we're trying to get him on the show again, but he said, you have Nick. He's like, you're good.
He's watching.
He's
Yes.
actually watching
He's
now.
watching.
Nick's
Jimmy's a
great.
good dude.
He actually came on for us last Halloween. We had a situation where we kind of went, Eric and I did a great candy event. We tasted candy, and we got Jimmy came on the show with us on the phone, and was able to talk us through, the brand, the family, the
Warrens.
The Warren. Thank you very much, the Warren family. And we had a quite good time with him on the, really nice guy.
He's got a good sense of humor too. He's funny.
When is the Salem Paranormal and Horror
That's
Convention?
November 13th and 14th.
Okay,
how
November
many-
13th and 14th, guys.
Yep.
How many people can join and be a part of this experience? Is there a maximum?
Well, we do the Paracon in Ansonia once a year, and we have over 1,000 people for that one.
Wow.
It was wild. We had John Zaffis the last time.
So going back to the one going to Salem, I'm sorry.
What?
Did I say that right?
Paracon?
Yeah, the 13th, right?
Yeah,
Just
11th
gotta-
through the 13th.
Sorry, Salem.
No, 11th, 13th.
Uh,
November 13th.
Okay,
Yeah.
Friday and Saturday. Yep. I
Yeah.
just want to make sure I got that
Okay,
right.
and then the one in Salem.
That's Salem, yeah.
Okay.
So we're expecting quite a bit of people. We actually just made Boston Herald newspaper, which is pretty cool.
I would think it's pretty cool.
Dave's going to try and go, so.
Yeah.
November 13th.
And they've been very welcoming to us. The community in Salem has been very welcoming and nice to us, so it's very cool.
Again, I got to ask so people know, what does this kind of experience cost to go? And because this is an experience that people really want to be a part of, and they should know what's involved here.
Yep, it's $14.99 for tickets.
Amazing.
Yep, and
What's
it's
it-
going to have a whole bunch of paranormal lectures, as well as a psychic festival with psychic readers galore. You name it.
How many days is this going on for?
Just Friday and Saturday.
So a 2-day event.
Yep. Mhm.
Wow.
So it's definitely going to be good. Charles and I got so much paranormal explorers, we didn't even know what to do with them.
Wow.
But we put them all up there, and there's a lot of people to meet. It's going to be phenomenal.
Wow.
It's gonna
And one more thing is to know your website. It's VAGA paranormal.com.
Yep, that's the Ghost Storm Investigations website. You could see stuff up there, videos and paranormal evidence. And the Salem Paranormal Convention website is salemparacon.org. That's the website for that. But you could also get a hold of me through the vagaparanormal.com website.
Salem
Paracon,
Para.
C-O-N.org.
So SALEMPARACOM.org.
C-O-N. Yep, you got it.
Con.
Yes.
Con. What did I
You
say?
said M.
Oh, CONN.
Yes.
Sorry.
Short
Sorry.
for convention.
Convention.
You could also find me on Facebook as well. Do a lot of Facebook.
Excellent. All right, Nick, you've been amazing today.
You guys are amazing too.
It was
I really
a lot of fun. We learned a lot. We got excited. I think you teased us a little bit today, which means you have to come back on the show.
I absolutely.
Baby steps.
Baby steps.
Baby
And I
steps.
Bring
think,
a few members with us too.
I think we should definitely have some agents in our
Stop.
team. A couple agents in our team to show up over here who I know would love to be here. Maybe we can get one of the mirrors we talked about and get some candles.
Making the portal.
Sounds good.
And set up a portal because
Yeah.
I think that it would
We
be
never even
something-
got into that, so
Yeah,
they don't know what you're talking about.
So
but-
and I'm going to end the show with this. What Nick talked about was he can set up a portal live on the show here
You
with
can
a
do that.
mirror. With a mirror.
You can do that the week I'm gone.
We'll have Jonathan outside the room while it's
I don't
taping
care.
live.
I don't care.
We'll have a mirror with some candles set up the way it needs to be done, and you can bring
Oh yeah, bring people.
spirits through the
Spirits
mirror.
come out of the mirror. Absolutely, it's.
Now, if you're interested in
good.
seeing that, if that's something they'd say that I want to see, let us know, and we'll bring back Nick, because I think this will be something that'll be unbelievable.
Yes, absolutely.
All right.
I would love to do that.
Looking forward to it.
Nick, at
Bring
the
it
end
live.
of the show, by the way, we give out a free tumbler.
Thank you.
To our people watching the show. You get a free one for being on the show, of course.
Awesome.
And
Thank
by
you.
the way, if you are looking to come on our show on the Team Powerhouse PowerCast, Eric and I would love to have you on. Please reach out to us. Let us know. You can call me, text me, Facebook, Instagram, however you want to reach out, YouTube. Please let us know. We'd bring you on the show and interview you and your business, etc.
Sounds like fun.
But we have a spinning wheel that's going to be a winner. Did that happen already?
Jolie V333 from Instagram. Jolie V333 from Instagram. We'll announce that on
Half of
TikTok.
666.
Jolie, please reach out to us. We want to get that tumbler to you. We're excited to hand these out to you every week. We thank you so much, everybody, for showing up and being a part of our show. If you missed this show or you know somebody who wants to see the show, please make sure to share this with them. Best place to find it always is on YouTube at Team Powerhouse Real Estate. Hit subscribe, watch our shows every week, and then on Saturday, we have a beautiful version of your show, all redone nice and pretty. Edited, some music, yada, yada, yada. I'm going to put some more music in the background of this one here coming up. Anyway.
Salem Paracon 12th and 13th. SalemParacon.org.
Get in touch with Nick. You're going to have an amazing experience. I know that Carla is definitely going to be a part of your people.
Absolutely.
On this experience. I know she loves you. And please stay tuned with us every week.
Thank you.
We appreciate having you guys sharing every week with us the experience like no other. It's the PowerCast with Team Powerhouse every Tuesday. And thank you so much.
Powerhouse,
again.
baby. I'm a fan.
Hey.
Thank you, Carla.
We'll talk to you guys soon. Have a great week, guys. We'll talk to you next week.